Alright, this is a reading about the Crescent Hotel in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. The Victorian 1886 Crescent Hotel and Spa in Eureka Falls, Arkansas hosts a wide variety of spirits. It is said that after a skeleton frame of the hotel had been constructed in 1880s, that one of the Irish Storer mansions plagued with death in what's now room number 218. So instead of calling them rooms in in the Victorian era, they were called mansions because they were like little penthouses. But now, like, it's there's a haunting. So there's modern day rooms. So yeah, I have my little M&Ms. I figure since we're talking about luxury hotels, we should have M&Ms in a bowl. So anyway, I love chocolate. Anyway, so we have the first one, which is the Page of Swords. In this case, I believe it's air. It's catnip. So, an unexpected illness and lack of preparation, a powerless person, and then we have, of course, the angel cards. So we have the Crown and Spirituality one, Chokerhana, I think that's what it's called. My dyslexia. Sometimes I get it right, sometimes I get it wrong. Okay, so this is a dark orb behind which lies the infinite. It has to do with spiritual faith and humility. So there was some type of animosity towards like other guests at this hotel because of certain things in the Victorian age. So there was probably a lot of travelers. There was probably a lot of people that were coming in from different countries and staying at this hotel, which was considered very high up there. So let's see. We have Geeter. Geeter is left hand judgment. So it's a red orb that exists as a boundary closed to the unworthy, law, bravery, and punishment. So there's a lot of orbs here. You have a dark orb, you have a red orb. So it's a lot of orbs. But also it's like different spirits and different energies being around this area of the hotel. So there's a few different floors, a few different places, a few different occupations or mannerisms of these spirits. Okay, so we have Gurath, I think, and that's left hand judgment spirit. Let's see. The red orb that exists, boundary. Yeah, I already read that one. Malagif. That's ground. The kingdom. The boundless pyramid orbs holds all the colors of the universe. So these are like those orbs that would have kind of like a translucent color. It either comes across as white or purple, sometimes gray. But it symbolizes the grounding. Usually, ground spirits are usually either like workers of the area because they kind of are the orbs are colored like the building, or their spirit is kind of more basic vibed, or more practical in mannerisms, kind of like a earth sign or a air sign sometimes. So it's hard to describe this orb, but it's like it almost looks like a chrysalis of like a caterpillar, and turning into a butterfly kind of color. So yeah, if you see this, it's gonna kind of blend in with the surroundings at some point or another. So let's see. So it's earth, their bodies of people that have passed, and also home. So, like I said, it's gonna look like the surrounding area, or in some cases, the surrounding things in the hotel. So you might see like a glimpse of like a figure as well. But usually you'll see orbs in big places like this. So it's like you'll see orbs in the light or orbs in the darkness, orbs that kind of follow you around a little bit. But you need like a lens of a camera, or you need like an owl camera that detects heat or something. Or you might actually have one of those screens, like on a Tesla. They have those screens that, actually detect spirits, and, the car doesn't move until the spirit moves out of the way or something. If you've seen some of those videos, it's really cool. But, yeah, if, if you go to this place, you'll see a lot of orbs. You might even see more orbs than I'm getting in this reading right now, because there was a lot of people there at one point, and there was a lot of kind of arguments, animosity, and different religions, cultures, and things too. So, and a lot of different philosophies. If you're around a lot of doctors and lawyers, there's a lot of different philosophies, a lot of different mannerisms, a lot of different personalities as well. There's probably a lot of entertainers there too. So we do have the flower in reverse. The flower in reverse, even if a small obstacle shows up, forget about it. And don't get angry. Process can be made with a smile. So there's some customer service energy here. If you've ever worked at customer service and you kind of get one of those unruly customers, there's gonna be a lot of banging and probably a lot of taps, because usually when spirits are disgruntled, they tap, trying to do like a Morse code type thing. So if you know Morse code, you can probably tell what a lot of the spirits are saying. I used to know Morse code, so it's pretty cool. You hear the taps, and then you'll be like, that means this means that, whatever. But yeah, I think if you're like a spirit hunter, you should know Morse code, because I feel like the spirits only can do like taps if they want to communicate with people, the living. So you might actually want to do that in order to become more well versed in spirit hunting. So we also have the Eight of Cups, and we have the Hanged Man. So the Eight of Cups is running away from responsibility or a friendship. The yin yang of choices. Leaving behind which is best in a person and abandoning the plan or a goal. Disillusionment, making a great matter out of something that is very trivial. So I feel like there might have been some type of fight over like towels or something, and it's still going on, and it keeps replaying in these spirits thing because they can't let it go. They need to let it go in order to move on to the next life, so they're not kept in limbo. But their problems will keep replaying. And if you have ever seen that show or that channel that does the haunting of a particular actor, actress, entertainer, it shows like they kind of walk into haunted areas, and then like they kind of are drawn to certain spirits and stuff because of feeling in a trap situation. the spirit that's the most vulnerable in that situation, or the one that would resonate more with your situation, will kind of imprint their lives on you, which, to be honest, you might want to take some rosemary with you so you don't have that come home with you. Because there can be a lot of animosity towards different spirits that have a tough life in customer service or have dealt with dangerous situations in their own life where they were threatened or hung for beliefs or cultural differences. So take your rosemary with you, take some garlic. It couldn't hurt. Okay, so I feel like a lot of people might be empaths or very vulnerable. So um, with me, I have like depression, so I do get angry at certain things because I myself, um, am kind of like I can do my own shit, and like some people that I interact with, they're they're kind of into like this cultural, oh, I don't want to cause conflict type things. It's like there's nothing to cause conflict over. It's either you know something or you don't. Don't like make it into a whole thing. But I feel like in certain cases you do have to kind of tell people to stop being idiots. And in customer service, you kind of have to endure idiocy a lot of times. I got fired from one of my jobs because I told somebody to stop being an idiot. So I'm kind of out there, but yeah, sometimes people are going through depression, and you do have to kind of be like customer servicey and say, I know you're going through a lot, but we can't provide that service to you. And they can't do anything because like you have already addressed their issues in a roundabout way and also dismissed their request. They can't do anything. They can't legally sue you after that either because you're standing up for the company. So if you work in customer service, do that so then you feel better about yourself and what you're doing. It's very exhausting being in customer service, right? So, I'm here for it. But I really wanted to be a salesperson because of how much crap I was getting as a customer service rep at some of my earlier jobs. So, yeah. So, Hanged Man, we have change what yet is not fully realized, a lull before the storm, a question between heaven and earth, a regeneration and disintegration of the spirit. Sometimes it can be a decision to sacrifice one's goals or family on an improvement. So, I feel like somebody was trapped in a situation, and it might have been family related. Um, so like they felt like they had to get into a certain business or something like that and kind of follow in with the family like legacy or whatever. So there's one of those spirits in here. I do think it's going to be either this one or this one, the red spirit or the I think it's a dark spirit. So it's going to be the crown. The crown is going to be the dark spirit, and that person constantly had to do things that like their family told them to do or people told them to do, and it was kind of like you have no other choice. So it could be a endangered servant or domestic servant, whatever you want to call it. Um, I'm gonna call it domestic because it's technically at a manor home type of hotel and not a facility, which would be kind of like a slave or kind of a housekeeper. So I'm just gonna say you know domestic worker. So there is some procrastination with these spirits because it seems to go in a cycle. And there's also a fear of change. These spirits don't want to leave because they don't know what awaits them on the other side. So, that's it's a bit of a exercise in self-keeping. But I think for the best of all parties involved, they do have to like leave that situation, because I feel like if they don't move on, they don't really go into a regeneration cycle to live like their next life. It could be with reincarnation and stuff like that. Everybody gets reincarnated. I don't care who you are, Christian, Muslim, whatever. You get regenerated into the world as a spirit, as a life form, into a living being, or animated clay, as some theorists believe. But yeah, if a situation is terrible, however you handled that, and that was like your major trial in life, it becomes slightly better. It might not be like, oh my gosh, I'm like rich, I'm royalty, whatever. Because royalty itself has its own trials and tribulations. Because like you're part of the public, like, but you're like you symbolize a public situation or a civil situation in your capital or endorsement, So, depending on how much responsibility you had versus how you handled that responsibility, you get reincarnated in as something that is similar but on a higher caliber, I think. And you deal with heavier issues. You don't deal with like floor length issues. You deal with like people, you deal with higher ups, you deal with celebrities, or you deal with people that kind of are either working all the time, like union workers, or like people that actually report on it. So it's like there's 7 different organization of thing that you can do, because it's either you're a celebrity, it's either you're reporting on it, or you're an observationist, or you're going to be a novelist. The other 3 go in and out of repetition. It's either customer service or other entertainment. Because there is a difference of level in certain entertainments in reincarnation. So I know it's not bad, and any job is good if it provides you a meal. So it just depends on how you deal with certain issues in reincarnation. So I guess what's going on here is if you procrastinate and you're scared of change, the cycles will continue. It could be a different person, a different place, a different thing. But if you're not able to mature beyond that point, the cycles continue. And it's you that needs to change or grow into your own caliber of profession. People that are immature usually lose their jobs more often than not until they learn a professional balance in their life. So if you're constantly going in a cycle of, oh, I keep losing my job, or I keep not getting promoted and things like that, the reason is that you have to have some type of boundary of professionalism. If you don't have that, and you can't really talk to people, and you can't be a voice of reason in a company, you get let go. If you that's with any company. Also, if you're a celebrity, you can get blacklisted for controversy that is out of the realm of being good entertainment karma. And it can be controversial all it wants to, but when it gets to the point of the public hating you, it's bad. So you may be getting attention, but for the wrong reasons. My cats keep knocking over things. But anyway, so with all that taking into consideration, if you procrastinate and you don't want to mature, you're going to be in constant cycle. So you have to find a balance between who you are as a person, who you need to be, and your future self. Um, so you kind of can look back and say, oh, I had a good life because, the maturity levels, you have to learn to be mature. You can't just be like mature one day and then that's all good and gravy. There's a maturity of professionalism and a maturity of personal value. If you can balance the two together on the on off days, then you have it. But you can be yourself. It's just how you present yourself to other people might be taken into criticism on some days. So that's why the maturity of professionalism and maturity of self is something big, okay? So it's common sense too. So it depends on how many lessons you're able to learn in a short period of time in order to mature and find your sense of self. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up before I go into like theorosity of the megaverse. All right. So anyway, I'll see you later, and it's been a long it's been a long week. So hopefully you got something out of this, and I'll see you in the next reading, and try to work on who you think you are and who everybody might see you as. I know there's a couple readers and tarot readers that do that type of reading, and you might want to just do it for fun and find out a little bit more about yourself. It's supposed to be some weight off your shoulders to some degree and the truth about certain issues you might be facing, so you can easily problem solve your way out of a situation. Anyway, I'll see you later, okay? Bye now.